I was talking to my friend about it the other day, or yesterday, and I was saying, you know, like when you're that focused on your vision, it's like it doesn't even matter. I mean, I haven't had cable television in 7.5 years or whatever it's been. I haven't paid for Wi-Fi at my house for 7.5 years, and I'm like, because all I did was I got up in the morning early. After I did my quiet time, I left the house and I worked all day, and I came back and I went to sleep, and none of that other stuff mattered. What's up? Today is Tuesday, September 17th, and I'm on my way to the airport. I am doing my vlog now because I didn't do it last week. I've just been busy, and honestly, I just haven't really been into the content creation mode. It's almost like you got to get into this kind of frame of mind to be creating as much content as I have been, and I don't know, I kind of got out of it a little bit, so just trying to stay consistent. But yeah, I'm on my way right now to pick up Nicole Richard, who is the CityFam Houston chapter lead, and she is actually officially today taking over the executive director role of CityFam. So really exciting. She is got a very high capacity. She's a very strong leader, very smart, great people skills. Everyone loves her, tons of experience. She is sacrificing. She's coming here. She's accepting the position. She's not getting paid. She's staying at my mom's basement in a finished basement at my mom's house, because that is the most cost-effective thing to do, just because she believes in CityFam and believes in the mission. She's seen results down in Houston, and people's lives impacted, and just really believes in what's going on and wants to be part of it, and has a long-term vision. I mean, I really can't say enough about her. The last time she came to Baltimore, she spent, I think it was 2 weeks here, and stayed again at my mom's place, and was riding around with me in my borrowed 1997 Toyota Tercel in the dead middle of summer. We had no air condition, and we're driving around, going to the office, going to meetings, and she just believes. She believes in what we're doing and CityFam, and we're really blessed to have her. And there's a lot of people like that in the organization that sacrifice and give, and but she's one of them. And anyway, I'm on my way to pick her up now, and very excited. I made a vlog the other day. I actually just shot a live video when I was I put a deposit in for Drew Hill for a show that I was doing at the casino that I'm doing on December 7th with Drew Hill. It's called Home for the Holidays. Really excited about it. And I was just having a thought and being like, man, if I hadn't done this, if I hadn't jumped, when I saw the vision for my life, and if I hadn't been willing to sacrifice at the level that I was, and all these things wouldn't have happened. All these things wouldn't have been able to come into play. And I wanted to elaborate a little bit more on that today. And because I had a friend reach out to me yesterday, and he was like, hey man, I saw your video. I'm really trying to build my business, and I wanted to talk to you about it. He's like, it really impacted me, and I was like, I'm thinking about cutting my cable and trying to see where else he could sacrifice so he could put money into his business of being a realtor. And I was like, encouraged him to do it, and kind of gave him the tips and that I learned along the way. And I mean, at the end of the day, like, it takes time to chase your dreams, and every dollar that you make, right, it is an employee, and it will work hard for you if you make it. But most people don't make it work for them. They just make the dollar and then they spend it on things, on comforts or whatever. But if you're serious about pursuing a dream or chasing a vision, number one, you have to either take the dollars that you're making and start putting them into a business or into yourself to learn a new skill, or to you know, learn a new trade or whatever to better yourself in some way, or stop chasing money altogether, which is basically what I did so that I could spend all my time focusing on my dreams. And, you know, like, it's something that I don't regret. You know, was it hard? Hell yeah, it was hard. It was very hard, especially up until recently when things started to turn. It was really hard. It was, you know, I was to the point where I was depressed and disillusioned because I was like, you know, wasn't sure if it was going to happen, and I'd given so much. I mean, I didn't really have a backup plan. It was it. 46 years old, you know, like I put everything into this, and if it didn't work, like, I mean, I don't even know what I would have done. I hadn't even thought about it. But, you know, I was talking to my friend about it the other day, or yesterday, and I was saying, you know, like when you're that focused on your vision, it's like it doesn't even matter. I mean, I haven't had cable television in 7.5 years or whatever it's been. I haven't paid for Wi-Fi at my house for 7.5 years, and I'm like, because all I did was I got up in the morning early. After I did my quiet time, I left the house and I worked all day, and I came back and I went to sleep, and none of that other stuff mattered, you know, like even not dating. It really didn't matter because I was so focused on my goal, my dream, that I just had to get there. It completely consumed me, and which actually made it that much more painful when it didn't happen. But, you know, if anyone's out there, you know, and they got something that they want to do, I would encourage them to, you know, be willing to make that temporary sacrifice, be willing to cut some things out so that you can have what you want most, you know? And the other thing that it did for me too is it helped me regain my sensitivity, because I had fed my flesh a lot, you know, when I was promoting and when I was making a lot of money. I mean, the money came easy, and I pretty much had everything I wanted, to the point where I didn't appreciate a lot of the things that I had because I had numbed myself so much. You know, I dulled my senses to a point. Now I'm like, I could go to a movie on a Friday night and get a little popcorn and a soda, and I'd be the happiest person in the world, because it just doesn't take much to make me happy anymore, because I've done without for so long. So it's a cool place to be, you know, like, anyway, I don't know. That's all I really had to say, I guess, about it. But anyway, wanted to fill you guys in on some other stuff. So I got a new whip. I'm actually driving a 2016 Toyota RAV4 right now, and picked it up yesterday. I'm really, you know, grateful. I got a car payment, which I was trying to not do, but I'm happy to have a reliable ride, because my last vehicle was ending up costing me more time than it was really worth, and I had to put a value on my time. So I went and got a car yesterday, and I'm driving it now. So very excited. I want to give a shout out to Brian Derudian at National Motors for hooking me up. I was able to get in it with no money down, which was a blessing. So that's good. That for me is something that really kind of helps my frame of mind. My mental state is like having, you know, when I'm working as hard as I am, and I actually have something to show for it now, you know, like something good starting to happen. I picked up a few new marketing clients over the past couple weeks, and that really made the decision a lot easier for me. So I booked Drew Hill, like I said, at December 7th at the Horseshoe Casino. It's something I wanted to talk about. How can we leverage the show to, you know, do more? So December 7th is the show. It's a Saturday. It's at the casino. Tickets will be up soon. Probably Friday we'll go live with the tickets. But December 14th, City Fam is having a Blessing Bags event. And that's what we've done the last 2 years, where we basically collect, you know, toiletries, gloves, hats, you know, shaving cream, razors, all that. And we put them in bags, and we give them out to the local homeless population, or we can drop them off at shelters. It's been great. It was Tamara Morris's brainchild. You know, 2 years ago, I think it was our first year. Last year, Morgan took over, and she did a great job with it. So anyway, we were thinking about it. We're like, what can we do? How can we tie it in with the concert? So what we're going to do is with the concert promotion, we're going to put something about Blessing Bags at the bottom, where we're going to say, hey, you know, bring some toiletries to the concert. We'll have bins there to collect the toiletries. DTLR may get on board, Downtown Locker Room may get on board, and also put collection spots in each of their stores. But what we're going to do is we're going to have Drew Hill from the stage on the 7th shout out and say, hey guys, thank you for coming to the show. You know, for those that brought items for the homeless, hey, we're going to come back here next Saturday, December 14th at the casino right there, and hopefully in the ballroom. And we're going to assemble the blessing bags here, and then we're going to give them to you guys to distribute throughout the city leading up to Christmas. So Horseshoe is on board. We called them. They were like, yeah, we would love to do that. And now it's just working out the details. Hopefully some of the members of Drew Hill will be able to come back for the actual event on the 14th and you know, assemble the bags with us, and we'll invite the press out and maybe some local politicians. And it just makes the event a lot bigger and sexier, which, and this was all kind of like part of our dream and the vision when we started CityFam, was to do big like volunteer events and make them really sexy, you know, so that more people got involved. Because when you volunteer, it just changes you. I don't even know how to describe it. For me, it was once I started volunteering with my church, I liked the way I felt so much that I just didn't want to create problems anymore. You know what I mean? Because I liked being part of the solution. Not that I was intentionally creating problems, but you know, I think when you're living in a way that focuses on yourself, in some ways you kind of know that you're creating problems. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's what it did for me, and I want more people to experience that. I want them to feel that way about themselves and become addicted to that versus addicted to feeling good in a different kind of way. In addition, that when you volunteer, it also gives you a bond, like a very strong bond with the people that you volunteer with. One that I can't even explain it completely, but I just know when I've been on, you know, relief trips with people or done different volunteer, it's like you get a connection to those people in a way that you can't get in any other way. So, blessing bags, December 14th. We'll be doing it at the Horseshoe Casino. You'll see more information about that soon. September service project, just to mention it while I'm on the subject, is September 28th. We're going to be doing Happy Helpers for the Homeless. We're going to be putting together food bags for local homeless teenagers. So if you want more information about that, it's on the CityFam website. But what else? Going back to Romania in 5 days. This Sunday I leave for Romania for a month. So I'm excited to go back, definitely. For the first week that I'm there, I'm going to be in Greece. I'm going to Mount Athos. You guys can Google it. It's the headquarters of the Orthodox Church worldwide. So that's kind of part of the people that brought me over to Romania. We're part of the Orthodox Church, and they have arranged for me to go to Mount Athos, to some monasteries there. So I don't really know. I'm just saying yes because I don't know what God is up to. Like, am I supposed to meet someone there? Am I supposed to learn something? I'm not really sure. It's interesting because I look at myself and I'm like, I'm obviously a Christian. I'm a follower of Jesus. I know he was the Son of God. But I'm like the least religious fundamentalist that I know. Meaning, like, I believe what the Bible says and I follow it to the best of my abilities, but I'm not religious. You know, obviously I do New Year's Eve parties, I cuss, I have in Drew Hill, like, I just don't think any of that stuff matters. You know what I mean? To me, it's everything else. It's just, there's a lot of religious bull crap that really doesn't matter. And so I feel like I'm like the least religious person, and I just so happen to be going to the most religious place on earth, you know, this mountain, Mount Athos, where no woman has been for 1,000 years. No woman has stepped foot on this mountain for 1,000 years. It's illegal because they don't want the women to tempt the monks. But I don't know, it's going to be interesting. And then the rest of the trip, I'm going to be speaking at a bunch of different schools and community centers, talking about waiting and sex, and just sharing my story and breaking it down for them why it makes sense and it's in their best interest to abstain. The other night we were at the office and one of the CityFam members had a movie called Unplanned, and we watched it there, and it was about planned pregnancy and kind of some of the truth behind all that, and you know, learned a lot of stuff that I didn't know, and it really helped me realize the gravity of what I'm involved in, because, you know, this whole pro-life thing was not you know, part of the plan when I wrote the book, or part of my, you know, idea for how my life would go, but it's really important. It's an important message, and I'm understanding that more and more. So anyway, I think we're speaking at 16 places over the course of about 2.5 weeks. So we'll see how it goes. And my thought is, you know, if that is really the direction that God's taken me with this pro-life, you know, the pro-life movement, working in conjunction with them, I could literally reach out to pro-life organizations all over the map, all over the world, and do this same model where I allow them to translate my book and you know, sell some copies, and then use the money to bring me over, do a speaking tour, do some press you know, press appearances, radio or television while I'm there, and then, you know, of course, sell the book in that language, and see how far this goes. To me, the book is the best. Not only it's a win on so many levels. It obviously shares the message of purity, of waiting, and just the practicality of it. You know, I feel like people are going to have a real hard time soon when they see my life and they see the fact that I've waited and what I've been able to accomplish in the last several years, using that energy and that clarity, and you know, ultimately God's blessing, because I've been, you know, trying to be obedient to Him, and what He's been able to do in my life because I've put that on the altar. It'd be real hard to deny that that's not true. So I feel like the book does a good job of explaining the practicality, but what it also does, it shares the gospel, it shares the truth about Jesus, and then it talks about City Fam. It actually kind of lands on City Fam. The whole book lands on City Fam. So, you know, as we start to get our systems in place, we have so many sharp people involved in the organization now, so many talented people that are believing in it and giving of their time, that when you look at that map, there is not a doubt in my mind that we are the beginning of what's going to be a worldwide movement. And as this book sells, it gets into people's hand, more people are going to realize, wow, I should really wait. And if I wait, I need a City Fam, because I need some friends to hang out with, because I won't have sex as a crutch anymore. You know what I mean? And we're going to start more City Fams. They're going to pop up in what I believe in every city in the world. And we're going to start this massive movement of people that are becoming the best version of themselves, and have a support system to do it with, to go through the wilderness with, so they can get to their promised land, so they can get to the things that they really want most. And they're willing to sacrifice the things that they want right now, which is sex a lot of times, and lots of other things. Could be their comfortable job, could be, you know, cable television, whatever. They might have to put all that stuff on the altar to get to their promised land. I did. So yeah, anyway, I don't know how I started going down that tangent. Romania, I leave on Sunday night. Very excited about Sunday day. While we're talking about it, is the Epic Church Picnic. Always one of my favorite events of the year. Open to all. Doesn't matter if you come to Epic or not. If you just want to come out, be around some really good people, enjoy some food, and take a beating at cornhole by me and Rob Carr, come out on Sunday. I'd be happy to give that beating to you. So what else is going on? I want to give a shout out to BJ Daisy. BJ is on the City Fam board of directors, and today is his birthday. BJ, I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you spending time. I know you don't have a lot of time, and you take time away from your family and your job to give it to City Fam. And thank you for believing in us. Thank you for letting us have our Halloween party at your house again. I can't wait. That is also one of my favorite events of the year. If you don't know about that, we do a contributing members only Halloween party for City Fam. So if you'd like to come to that, become a contributing member, you can do that on the cityfam.com website. I think it's going to be October 19th or the 26th. Not sure. We're still working out the details. Jet Set Mafia reunion. I thought I would mention that because I saw Bobby my old business partner, put up a post about that the other day, and apparently he's going to have a reunion party sometime in November. I think he said it was the 9th, at Safari Club, the new club he manages. So that will be funny. That'll be fun. I'll see who comes out for it. I told him, I said, I wouldn't expect, I said, those people are all old now. So we'll see what happens. But I'm going to come through and, you know, I don't know, maybe we'll put some old pictures up or whatever and make ourselves look like complete retards for some of the things that we were wearing and doing back then. So, I think that's about it. Working on my sales funnels for my book. Basically getting all set up so that I can start running ads for that. Pretty excited about it. New Year's Eve, been working a lot on the New Year's Eve event, Charm City Countdown. That's about it. So everything has been good though. Like, mood levels significantly improved. Been doing a lot of work on myself through Landmark Forum, working with my therapist, and of course the circumstances changing really have helped. So that's it. Anyway, talk to y'all later. See ya.